Hello, BookTube. I've got some mail for you today on an absolutely beautiful Tuesday. Just as gorgeous as a day gets. It's warm and wonderfully comfortable. As still as a duck pond. No wind, no weather, no precipitation of any kind, and I think the last really warm day of the year. I could be wrong about that, of course. A little warmth could return, but I get the feeling that this will certainly be the last really warm day anytime soon. All the next days in this week are going to be progressively cooler and cooler. So it's been an absolutely lovely day, and I would be encouraged anyway because we're on the mother of all streaks when it comes to mail. I've got a bunch of mail here, including a box, so I thought we'd go through that now, and I anticipate no problems whatsoever. I anticipate not even needing to say food for thought. I think it's all just going to be as smooth as butter. So what is this first one? Oh my, what is this? Okay, do we have useful information for me? Mid-October. This comes out in mid-October. What a cover. This is by P.J. Caldas, and it's called The Girl from Wudang, a novel about artificial intelligence, martial arts, and immortality. Good Lord. From Tuttle. They call her Tigress. Headstrong, untamable, a beast. Yin Yin defies the warnings of her late Shifu, her martial arts master, and carries her ferocity from the Kung Fu school to the mountains of Wudang to the mixed martial arts fighting cages of California. There, surrounded for the first time by Western technology, she ignores the voices of reason when offered an implant that could end her crippling headaches. It could end her pain. It could even make her more. All she has to do is allow the doctors to implant a tiny, super-intelligent nanobot directly into her brain. Her journey is told in the propulsive Techno-thriller by Emmy Award-winning, best-selling Brazilian author P.J. Caldas. Making her mark as an MMA fighter in California, Yin Yin is poised to become part of something big. But what that big turns out to be is beyond her imagining when the scientific experiment she participated in makes her unbeatable. It feels like a dream, but nothing comes without a price. This experimental neuroconnection could give others access to family secrets buried deep within her mind, secrets Yin Yin has sworn to protect, secrets that, in the wrong hands, could be very deadly. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, this is science fiction coming out from Tuttle in October. Be willing to bet that sound I hear is about 100 of you putting this on pre-order, and I don't blame you in the slightest. I don't blame you in the slightest. Fantastic. Okay, we're off to a fine start. Let's see what the next one is. I've got the bean right next to me here on the couch. Here, let me show you. I should show you the bean since I mentioned her. She's right here next to me on the couch. Here you go. Aren't you good? She's feeling a little bit mopey. I think probably her lady troubles are on her or are beginning. She's feeling a little bit mopey. She's even a little bit controlled on our dog walks instead of lunging at everybody. Oh. Wow, wonderful. All right, paging the brothers Gwyn. I know they don't watch my channel, but still. This is Dan Jones. This is Wolves of Winter, his sequel to Essex Dogs. Fantastic. So this comes out in late January. No blurbs here. I don't know if I'm blurbed. I assume I'm not because this got a very, very good reception. For a debut novel from a really well-known historian, Essex Dogs got a really good reception. I imagine it's covered in blurbs, none of them mine. So Jones is an award-winning historian, best known for his New York Times best-selling and highly acclaimed works including The Plantagenets and The Templars. Well, once upon a time, yes, he's best known for Essex Dogs now. I'd be willing to bet. Essex Dogs certainly is going to outlive his histories. He's also a well-known TV and podcast personality. You can watch him on Netflix's Secrets of Great British Castles, or listen to his podcast, A Dynasty to Die For. Praised for bringing a modern perspective and fresh insights to his history, Jones injected that same energy and knowledge into his fiction debut. The first novel in the trilogy, Essex Dogs, was published earlier this year to fantastic reviews. The New York Times said it's a medieval military history as swashbuckling as a Hollywood movie. The Daily Mail called it battle, bloody, brutal, and perfectly pitched. I did a buddy read of it with Micah Cummins. And the trilogy follows the fortunes and exploits of 10 ordinary English soldiers during the 100 Years' War. Essex Dogs, which Jones envisioned as a medieval Saving Private Ryan, begins as the ragtag group lands on the shores of Normandy during the summer of 1346 at the start of King Edward III's campaign across northern France. The dogs must fight to survive a bloody war in which rules are abandoned and chivalry itself is slaughtered. And there will be scenes in Essex Dogs that will stick with you for a long time. A long time. I'm not saying they're brilliant. I'm not even saying they're certainly not beautifully done. But Dan Jones has an eye for vividness. There are scenes in Essex Dogs that you will remember long after you've forgotten the particulars of the book. Wolves of Winter picks up immediately after England's victory at the Battle of Crécy and finds the dogs, now reduced in number, caught up in the siege of Calais, beleaguered 11-month blockade of the small French port. Now stuck in one place with no battles to fight, the squadron must contend with the monotony and brutal conditions of siege warfare. Scotsman drowns his grief in drink. The aging Loveday realizes he may have become too weary for war. He is also he's the leader of the whole thing. He's the main character. He's also disquieted by the sudden and mysterious reappearance of the dog's former leader, the captain, a cunning operator whose motives are always obscured. And Rumford, the troubled young archer, eventually finds himself under the guidance of a captain in the heart of Calais. Rumford has a turn in Essex Dogs that I didn't really see coming that was very effective. Their journeys will reveal who really wants this war to last for 100 years. And as the battle rages, they hear the first faint, chesty rattle of a natural disaster that is sweeping towards the dogs and their world. Any of you can guess what it is? Chesty rattle might be giving it away. Spanning the siege city built outside Calais' walls to the pirate ships patrolling the harbor and into the dark corners of oligarchs' houses where the deals that shape and end lives are made, this epic sequel brings the 1300s effortlessly to life. Boy, whoever wrote this pub sheet really earned their keep. I wonder if it was Dan Jones. Full of vivid characters and thrilling storytelling, it's the novel that has the vivid storytelling. Jones effortlessly interweaves actual historical events and figures of the time, including Edward III, the Black Prince, the Earls of Warwick and Northampton, Sir Hugh Hastings, Queen Philippa, and John of Gaunt. Okay, so this comes out in the beginning of the new year, in January of the new year. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Very happy to have this. If you have Essex Dogs at your library almost certainly has a copy. You might want to give it a try. And even more importantly, if you have a teenage boy, 13, 14, 15, who right at the point when tragically a lot of boys stop reading, you might want to give them this book. I can warn you ahead of time, just to set your good, conscientious parent heart at ease. There are some vivid, brutal things in Essex Dogs. And you might be thinking, well, I don't want to give him that if it's got that stuff in it. Trust me, you do. He's seen worse already. He hasn't told you about it. But in video games and in comic books, he's seen much worse already. The point is the book will grip him. He'll want to read the sequel. He might want to read other things. He might want to read about the 100 Years' War. It's worth it. The trade-off is worth it, believe me. And then anyway, we'll go on to a box. This is slightly over. There are two boxes. One of them is thin, though. And this is slightly oversized, so it could be a big illustrated book. I've got a bunch of nature books recently. That would be great if there's another one of those. Ooh. Okay. This comes out in late October. It is an oversized nature book. I got one on octopuses, I got one on sharks, I got one on sea mammals, and you might think, well, if you got one on all of those, what could possibly please Steve more? Some of you who've been watching this channel for a long time will know that it isn't dogs, that a big picture book like that about dogs will actually not please me. It will almost certainly end up frustrating me. So a lot of you who have been watching this channel for years will say, well, we know the answer to that. It's a big book on bats. But there's one category more. It's dinosaurs. Dinosaur behavior. Look at that. A little triceratops, not a triceratops in this case, but a ceratopsian, is getting attacked. Oh no. Oh no. Let's see here. This comes out at the very end of October. It is by Michael Benton and illustrated by Bob Nichols. We'll take a look at some of those illustrations. Paleobiology has advanced from a speculative subject to cutting-edge science. I know that, and you'd think I know the names of all of these things, but as one of you pointed out, I did a whole live stream the other day where I was talking about archaeology when I didn't mean archaeology, I meant anthropology. I tell you, someday I'll get this booktubing right. Today, researchers are applying the latest forensic technologies to the fossil record, revealing startling new insights into the lives of dinosaurs. This illustrated guide explores the behavior, evolution, physiology, and extinction of dinosaurs, taking readers inside the mysterious world of these marvelous animals. Oh my. Okay, all right, so let's take a look at what's... Oh my God. Oh my God, will you look at that? Incredible. Look at all that's going on in here. Like, for instance, there's another one of those tyrannosids attacking another ceratopsian. But what's going on here? Did this animal die in childbirth? Is that it? And there's a little rodent looking to get the egg? Wow. What a great picture. Oh, okay. Here's you walking your dog, and here are some of these creatures. Look at the size of those things. Oh my God. There's one here at the end there as well. That's an Eoraptor. Just about the size of your dog. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, man. Okay, here's brains. Amazing how much stuff we can know. This is an imagined dinosauroid if the troodontids had survived to the present day with an older view. Okay, so this is going to please you Voyager fans. What would happen if dinosaurs had evolved to be biped with binocular vision and grasping hands? Oh, let's get another big picture here. Oh, goodness gracious, this T-Rex is ripping apart a live dinosaur. Look at that, just pulling a chunk out of its tail. Goodness gracious. You get, in addition to the pictures, you also get illustrations from digs so that you know what's being talked about here. And also dinosaur poop, of course. You get that as well. Oh, man. Oh, man, this is going to be so much fun to go to. If I haven't mentioned it recently, allow me to state right now that I love my job. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so all of you dinosaur fans out there, there's a dinosaur book coming, a big illustrated dinosaur book coming. Unfortunately, I don't think this sheet gives me any useful information. Does it? Oh, no. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to have the price, but this is only $35. You know, which I rail against till the cows come home when $35 is the price of a new novel. But this is oversized. It's got tons and tons of illustrations. I don't think $35 is too much to ask for something like this. Fantastic. All right, so you know this is coming. If you've got a dinosaur fan on your list, you might want to keep it in mind. And then the final box, and then we'll be done. This is much smaller, so this will be just one book. What have we got here? Oh, this. What's going on here? What is going on here? Let's get that out of there. I'll just crap out of there. I'll get my surly houseboy to... My life is about to change. My earthly existence is about to transmogrify. The last item is not a book, a boring, stupid old book. The last item is the thing that will kill books, that will replace them. I can't believe it. Here it is. It's a new iPhone. Oh my. So here is my iPhone 6S. I have been using this for years. And this is the iPhone 11 Pro. Notice it has 3 cameras and sensors instead of just the one. It is, wow, it's surprisingly compact. It's almost the same size. See that? It's just a fraction of an inch bigger. Oh, that's nice. In a way, that's nice. I was thinking this was going to be huge. One of you, I should contextualize here while I'm hyperventilating. One of you very kindly said you have a phone that you don't use anymore. Could you send it? And I just automatically assumed, since I have the 6S and this is the 11, I automatically assumed it would be one of these enormous cell phones. All the new cell phones are gigantic. The iPhone 10, the one before this one, is 30% bigger than this, more than that. But no, this is actually still hand-sized, which it's an infinitely more powerful machine than the 6S. but I kind of like the fact that it's hand-sized. You know, because the bigger phones are less convenient to use. You can't, for instance, type with one thumb. They're big. I mean, they're meant to be sort of a stopgap between a phone and a tablet. Hence the term phablet. I didn't expect this to be so compact. How wonderful. Okay, and notice the cameras really do not bump out of the device. They're raised just a little, but not much. This is a stainless steel rim all the way around. That is stainless steel all the way around. So the edges of your phone that tend to get nicks and scuffs, probably going to get fewer of them here. Still has a lightning port, so it's the same port that my iPhone 6S uses. It's not the USB-C. The one detail about this phone that gives Steve the worries is that the front is glass, but so is the back. The back is also glass. It's a kind of frosted glass that is billed as gaining no fingerprints whatsoever, but glass is glass, and I'm pretty rough on my stuff. Wow, I did not expect... This is pretty much the same size as an iPhone 6S. Which means it's going to be really convenient to use. It's not going to be... I was kind of expecting an iPhone 10 or an iPhone 14, where it's a huge device. You couldn't... I would have to relearn how to use it. You certainly could not use it one-handed. Unless they even come... Those bigger phones come with... a way that you can move the keyboard, the onboard keyboard, all the way over to one side or the other, because they know you can't reach the whole the whole face of the thing. I wonder if this has power. Where the power is. That switch up there you might think is power, but it's not. That's actually something completely different for the phone. I'm gathering this big button here is the power button. But, oh my god, this is a much more powerful device than my iPhone 6S. Look at that. And it is slightly bigger, so it might be more comfortable to read on. I'm gonna have to try that out. It comes with all sorts of illumination settings to make reading comfortable. Maybe this, I mean, it's not only bigger, but the bezels are a little bit more generous. It will probably feel like a much bigger phone. And I wonder if this will be comfortable to read on. I'll have to give it a try. I'll have to try out the camera, of course, because I'd love to film on this. I'd love to film these videos on this. And the camera has so many tricks and adaptations. It is so advanced, so incredibly advanced. Compared to the little pinhole that's in my iPhone 6S. My only question about this, I had this question at the Brattle first thing this morning. My only question is how much use I can make out of this before I take it to my my iPhone store. Do I need to take it to my iPhone store? What do I have to swap out of the iPhone 6S and put in this? Is it the SIM card? The SIM card is probably my phone account, right? But this is still a fully functional machine, even without that, right? I mean, I went a year or more when I was using a cell phone for everything, except it didn't have an active phone account. I made videos on that thing. This, once it's attached to Wi-Fi, I can record and upload videos, right? I don't need a phone account to do that. I'm assuming that I don't. I'm assuming that I will be able to get a lot of use out of this thing before I take it to the phone store. I would hope so. It's just cycling through every single way of saying hello. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Am I supposed to hurry it along? Oh, I can't hurry it along. Okay, this is... Okay, this is just going to take me through the setup. Oh my, I'm going to spend quite some time with this thing. I wasn't expecting it to be the same size. It is basically the same size. Here, let's put them exactly equal. I'll put one corner exactly equal. It's a tiny bit wider, a few millimeters wider, and a few millimeters taller. And that's it. It's not a radically sized machine. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing at the moment. This certainly, I said the other day that this would introduce me to the world of larger phones. It certainly is not doing that. This is going to be the same muscle memory as the iPhone 6S. Okay. All right. Well, then all I need to do is figure out what I can do on this thing. It's too late in the day to go to my... it's too late in the day to go to the phone dealership. And I don't know what I need them for anyway. Do I actually need them for something? or can I take the SIM card out myself? Here, hang on a second here. I want to see this come alive. I want to see if this will come alive for me. Oh my God, thank you so much. I will send an email. The person who sent this, if you're watching, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Regardless of what else, whether or not this ends up being convenient for reading, this is still going to change my life completely. Who knows? I might have bitten the bullet and got one of these things, but I wouldn't have known what I was getting. This takes all of the trouble out of that. So, is this the one device to rule them all? Is it? Can I read on it? Can I film on it? Obviously, I can film on it. It's made for that. That's the principal concentration of this phone. But can I write on it? I saw a whole bunch of Bluetooth keyboards, and including some that have little cradles. You just put the phone right there on the keyboard. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, goodness gracious. What if I got a Bluetooth keyboard for this? Then I could write on this. It has, I think, the baseline memory for this model is 64 gigs. That's as much as any of my iPads have. That's just fine. Goodness gracious, look at all this. All right, I'm going to put this aside or I'm going to keep playing with it. But oh my, what a way to end the mail haul with a new phone. Oh my. All right, so I need to see how much I can do on this thing. I'm obviously going to need a new tripod. My tripod broke, so I need a tripod. I need to spend $4 on that. And then I need to try keyboards, Bluetooth keyboards. And I'm under no illusions that I'm going to pick the perfect one the first time around. So I might have to try a few Bluetooth keyboards. There are some that fold to something the size of a credit card. You unfold it. I think those are meant for people who don't do much typing, whereas I do a lot of typing. So I probably need a solid state keyboard with a cradle that the phone goes on top of. And then I would just have to see how good the Bluetooth is and whether or not I can get used to navigating document saving and sharing on the phone. It could be that I could. And if that's true, well, then I do have one device to rule them all. One device to do all four of the things I use technology for. Photos and videos, reading, writing, and editing. Those are the four things that I do. Nothing else. No music, no art, no video games, no nothing. Just that. Basically, we're a word processor and a camera. If I can do that on this, oh, all right. Well, that's amazing. I'm gushing because I'm about to become an iBoy. I'm about to put all of my life into one phone so that I never stop looking at it. I never stop consulting it. I stop doing everything else in the world and just become an iBoy. But in the meantime, before then, we do have books. Boring old books. We have Dinosaur Behavior. We have The Wolves of Winter, the sequel to Essex Dogs. And we have The Girl from Wudang. I liked Essex Dogs and I've been waiting for the sequel. I love dinosaur books, and yet this thing is really grabbing me. So fantastic. Science fiction, historical fiction, and dinosaurs. Fantastic. So those are the books. And then we have this. Da, 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 da. I will spend a lot of time exploring this thing. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up for now. This is the mail haul to end all mail hauls. And it's only Tuesday. So I will wrap this up and I will be back. Thank you, BookTube.